let us go.
Yet, even in the camps, both military and civilian, some guards showed a flicker of humanity.
Watanabe was a marvellous man. He was a Christian and he was wonderful with the children. He tried to get medicine in, and he used to sing, I gather he used to sing Silent Night in Japanese, but he was a Christian, you see.
With the Japanese Prime Minister's apology today to the British POWs, the mood to forgive is stronger now than at any time in the last half-century.
You've got to forgive, haven't you? You can't ever forget. But I mean, the new generation that coming on, I mean, they probably don't know anything about what's happened. I mean, it's a very different lifestyle now from where they were. But they were very cruel, very cruel.
The wars are caused by hate, envy, and greed. Those are the three ingredients of war. And we're going to learn to control our emotions. We're going to learn to live with each other. That's the only answer.
Well, many who were taken prisoner by the Japanese are now seeking compensation for the treatment that they received. Keith Martin was in a civilian internment camp for 2.5 years. He was just 15. In 1988, and since then, he's been fighting for a formal apology and for compensation from the Japanese government. Earlier at his home in Ulster, I asked Keith whether the Japanese Prime Minister's message today represented that official apology that he wanted.
I don't regard them as an official apology. They're a personal apology. They're sincerely meant. I admire his sincerity. But a formal and official apology is required because what was done to us was done in the name of the Japanese government, and it takes a government apology to wipe that slate clean, and we've made this clear.
There are some people in this country who are calling for a boycott of Japanese goods. Do you go as far as that?
It's something that we have under consideration with our friends in other organizations. We will be giving it further consideration this week, and by the end of the week we'll make a decision on this. It will probably be a limited boycott of imported goods.
You've recently come back from a trip to Tokyo. How much support is there amongst the Japanese people for your cause?
The Christian churches in Japan apologized for the evil acts of aggression committed by their armies and called on the government to apologize formally and to pay compensation to the British prisoners of war and victims. There was a television program about our visit and a very touching letter received by one of our party from a 22-year-old woman who said, "I never knew about this. I am ashamed. I apologize." I think that in a year's time we will see more clearly as a result of the court case where things stand. But we are like the water that drips on the stone and eventually wears the stone down.
What are your feelings today, given that it's the 50th anniversary of VJ Day?
Well, it's a day that many of us never expected to see, to be alive for the occasion. But I'm thankful that I'm alive, that I've survived. I think on those who didn't, friends of mine who died, one of whom I dug a grave for, and I look forward to the future and putting this behind us when the outstanding business is done.
Keith Martin, of course, many others who are still fighting for compensation. Well, join us later in the programme. We'll be talking to more veterans, but now, with the rest of the day's news, here's Dominic.
Thank you, Sally. An NHS trust has been fined £14,000 after admitting responsibility for the death of a severely handicapped woman. The Health and Safety Executive brought the prosecution, claiming the Dorset Community NHS Trust had failed in its duty of care. The case has prompted a review of safety in residential homes throughout the county.
39-year-old Margaret Smallwood, who could not talk and was physically and mentally handicapped, was discovered dead in 6 inches of bathwater last November. Magistrates in Weymouth were told she was left for 10 minutes while a care assistant prepared lunch for staff and patients at the town's Gables nursing home. A verdict of accidental death was recorded at an inquest in March, but Margaret's mother says staffing levels at the home were to blame.
The care assistant had to cook the lunch and look after my daughter, and she omitted to look after Margaret while she went to prepare lunch. If she hadn't have had to do that, she might have
not left her alone like she did.
Dorset Community Trust pleaded guilty to failing to provide a duty of care to one of its patients. It's since reviewed health and safety procedures at all of the residential homes in its care. A statement by the Trust said,
"We are able to reassure the general public that all steps humanly possible have been taken by the Trust to minimise the risk of such a tragedy occurring again."
Weymouth magistrates accepted that it was a corporate failure and no individual was to blame for the death. But the Trust says some patients in the homes are still being left alone in the bath.
Jane Luscombe reporting. The government has approved the sale of the Courage Brewery at Reading and the rest of the Courage Group to Scottish and Newcastle. The merger will create Britain's biggest brewer. 700 workers at the plant in Reading now face an anxious wait for news about the future of their jobs.
Built in 1980, the Courage Brewery at Reading is regarded as the company's flagship. Many of Courage's leading brands are produced there. The approval for the merger follows an agreement by Scottish and Newcastle to sell 115 of its pubs and allow a further 1,000 to buy beer from other brewers. The acceptance of the conditions means that the deal will not now be referred to the Monopolies and Mergers Commission. Courage employs almost 700 people at Reading. There's also a distribution centre at Chandler's Ford employing 111 and another at Lewis. S&N hopes to make big savings by merging with Courage, but it will be several months before it's known how many jobs will be lost.
An inquest opened into the deaths of 4 people killed when their plane crashed into a field in Hampshire. They died when the 4-seater plane came down close to Fifield near Andover. The coroner at Winchester was told the bodies were so badly burned they had to be identified using dental records. The inquest was adjourned while post-mortem examinations are carried out. Air accident investigators are still trying to establish the cause of the crash. The Chief Constable of Thames Valley Police wants more speed cameras on the roads, and he wants to use fines from driving offences to pay for them. In his annual report, Charles Pollard says his force is so strapped for cash it can't afford to develop any more road safety campaigns.
The Chief Constable of Thames Valley Police, Charles Pollard, says that the Treasury is wrong. He believes they should allow the police to use money from fines for motoring offences to improve road safety.
From the model we've worked out, will not only improve road safety, not only minimise pollution, not only save the taxpayer a lot of money, not only save human misery, the death on the roads, but at the same time actually increase the revenue. If they say that's not a sensible thing, then, well, we just part company.
£2 million is raised each year from fines generated from speed cameras. The Chief Constable wants to retain a quarter of that income to reinvest in more. Motorists in Reading gave a mixed response to the idea.
If you knew where it went, then yes, I'd be all for it. But it may be just another tax in disguise.
You can improve the way people drive, or frightening them into improving their driving, then yeah, it's got to be a good idea.
Well, it sounds like a good idea, but, will it be? I don't know. Critics say the traffic improvement proposals deflect from the bad news in the report. A record 18% increase in violent crime and robberies compared to the previous year. Berkshire County Council support Thames Valley Police on the issue of revenue from fines, especially as they recently announced having to cut around 300 police. But they say they should get tough on enforcement.
I would like to see the speed limits enforced rigorously. Now, there are issues that they may be too low in certain instances. I would cite motorway as a typical example. There seems an ambivalence towards people breaking the speed limit of 70 miles an hour. Now, if society thinks that is too slow and it should be raised, by all means,